Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing Mono Black Moonshadow mid-range aggro. This is a very sweet deck that has lots of tools in its toolbox. It's very aggressive, but it does have some controlling elements. First, if you haven't seen Moonshadow, it's cracked. I've got tons of videos with it. Other threats include Nethergoyf. We are very graveyard dependent between Nethergoyf and Moonshadow. We also have Bowmasters, which is disruptive and aggressive. We have Douthie, which is disruptive and aggressive. And we've got Baragoyf, which is just insane and has to be answered. We're a Dark Ritual deck, so we can fire these out pretty quickly, or we can live the dream and Dark Ritual Thoughtseize him to TOURACH our opponents into oblivion. And in terms of removal, we have 2 Fatal Push and 2 Snuff Out main deck. In the sideboard, we have 2 additional Fatal Push, 2 Feed the Swarm. This comes against the Leyline of the Void decks because it's so good against our Moonshadow and our Nethergoyf. I've got 2 May Scornful Strikers. This is good against Storm and other like just Beanstalk type decks and stuff like that. It can chip away at them. TOURACH is awesome against mono white decks and even like base white decks that are using white removal. We've got 4 Ley Lines for combo, 2 Disruptor Flutes for combo, 1 Damping Sphere for combo. Let's do it. First round has already started. I think our opponent is on Yorion, like just black-white taxes. So it'll be an interesting matchup. We are much faster and more aggressive, but they are just like a better deck if the game goes long. I'm just going to get a swamp and I'm going to cycle and yeah, we'll hope to get to these cards. We may not. But Moonshadow should be cracking some skulls here. I don't want to mulligan because every card matters. If we get screwed, it's not the end of the world. I literally just played it against this person with my blue-white deck, and I'm just not feeling blue-white today. So I was like, let's switch it up. Like they were literally my previous opponent from the previous league. So Swamp, Moonshadow, Street Wraith. Let's hit another Street Wraith. That would be sweet. Or just land. I'd be happy with land. Berry. Okay. We might die with a bunch of berries in our hand, unfortunately. Like our deck doesn't have a way to find land. That would be very disappointing, but it is totally possible. They have a Vial. That is a very strong turn 1 play from them. It's basically the only 1-drop in their deck is Vial. Come on, give me something I can use. Yes! What a freaking rip. I love it. Been swimming in raw sewage, and I love it. Okay, so here we're going to get more unimpeachable mana. I think Douthie, yeah, because I want to ping something with Bowmasters. So I'll just hold it. Now we'll come across for 3, First Blood. Vial ticks up. We have to kill them quickly or they're going to run away with the game. But we have 2 must-plow threats currently. They might have Felia here. I might be able to jam up Felia with Bowmasters, which I'm going to telegraph very hard. Or I could just push. That works too. So let's come across. And I think if they Felia in step... Okay, what are they going to do here? They're going to plow one of these? They may Bowmaster to produce a blocker. Let's get ready for a blowout. That is fine. I will allow it. And now I'm going to ping. I do draw cards, so it probably is better to just take this out. That goes to your exile, where I can reuse it if I need to. Got some additional bodies. And I'm just going to come through unimpeded. Step aside and let the Moonshadow through. Let the Moonshadow through. All right. They've got a lot of mana. We're getting into scary territory here. They are low on life. Fatal Push is good, but like they could... don't do it. Skyclave. This probably hits Moonshadow. Probably hits Douthie. Okay, well, Douthie will live to strike them again. If I can find a way to get Revolt, I can just push this and take the creature. Such a beating. Yeah, it sucks. I kind of want to just ram. I know that sounds crazy, but like I do want to Fatal Push this. And if I ram, I probably take all their material. And I can Fatal Push, and then I might be able to Fatal Push again in the instep. Like, I just need to do damage. Like, they're almost certainly going to block here. A permanent has left the battlefield, so that will work. Okay, so these trade, and now I can just push this before I lose my Revolt. I get a token. They're at 6 with no board. So, I mean, Solitude is a very powerful card here. I have to hope that they put something in the instep so I can respond by pushing it. Come on, put that Felia in. You got a Felia? Put it in. No, they don't have a Felia. My Fatal Push is no longer any good. It's probably not going to be able to hit anything here. This is really our like chance to win because, subsequent games. Oh, that's a good card. That is a good card. All right. Let's go ahead and come across. And so I can snuff out and push, like depending on what they do here. Or they can just take it all and drop to 2. I'm okay with that. What are they doing over there? They're a very skilled player, by the way. Like they just completely destroyed me in my previous round with them. Okay, so I don't know what they're doing. They may have just conceded, basically, and they're just eating my clock, which doesn't make any sense. I'm a slow player, but I've got 20 minutes on the clock, and this is not a slow deck. They're just getting Thoughtseizing for information. I will allow it. And they scooped. Cool. Okay, so TOURACH. This is your time, buddy. Fatal Push gets in the deck. Feed the Swarm is another way of removing creatures. And they could have Leyline, but I don't know that any... Yorion deck would play Leyline. It seems kind of silly. I don't think they play any enchantments in their entire 75 or 95. It is an additional removal spell. I think Thoughtseize is actually all right against them. Like I know they're going to empty their hand, but they almost always have extra cards. Maybe we don't need Feed the Swarm since it does do damage to us. Snuff Out is very good against their deck. Bury's good. Like I can't think of what to cut, frankly. I mean, maybe it is Nethergoyf because they may be able to like nuke the graveyards. And if they nuke the graveyard, at least Moonshadow will have already grown. Nethergoyf will be just tiny, though. Beargoyf can rely on their graveyard being stuffed. Yeah, I think I do that. That does reduce our threat count to 21, but really it's like 19 because we're never going to actually cast the... Yeah, it is a low threat count, but... And they do have a lot of removal in their deck, too. I'm not 100% convinced that what I'm doing is correct with so much removal. I do want at least 6 removal spells. I could take out Wasteland. I mean, it sucks, but we just added a 4-drop to our deck. I don't know if that's smart. We may be able to take out like a... Yeah, I don't want to cut it because they're not always going to have Vile. Disruptive Flute is okay against their deck, but I don't think it's worth playing. I think I'm going to do it like this without the Nethergoyfs, and we're just going to lean heavier on Moonshadow with its evasion. Because they can like block bounce with Felia and stuff if they have a Crocus out. I don't know. I'm just trying to convince myself that one of the best creatures ever printed is not good enough for our deck right now. This is an unfortunate no-lander. We will mull. Our opponent is mulled. This is a much better hand. I will snap keep this. The card that's going to go back is Moonshadow number 2. It's going to be Beargoyf. Yeah, but Beargoyf is almost certainly going to die anyway. It's just so far from being castable. So turn 1 will be Dark Ritual, probably Moonshadow, Dalthy. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be that. Dalthy does hit them repeatedly in a way that they can't stop. I would welcome a land here. All right, another Dalthy. That's not terrible, but it's probably not what we're looking for. So I do Moonshadow first, just in case like they somehow disrupt Dalthy arrival. Okay, that's not terrible. 2 evasive beats. We are going to need to draw land, though. But if we draw land, I mean, Dalthy is really good against their deck because they have tons of blockers, but they don't have a lot of life gain. Other than, like, if they get up to 5 mana, they can start casting Solitudes. Uh-oh. They're going to freaking Bowmaster me? That sucks. Yeah, there wasn't any way to play around this, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, that's fine. They are welcome to, not hit anything. Okay. So we can still attack, like, just ignore this thing. Give me land. Fetch. Yes! Oh my goodness, that's so good. So options. 1, I think I do kind of want to they just scooped it. They just scooped it. Holy guacamole. That was a complete turnaround. Like the previous match I played with them with my blue-white Felia deck. We went I don't know. It was like a 40-minute game. And that was like a 5-minute game. Maybe 10 minutes? Less than 10 minutes. All right. Up against a pro hacker, so don't piss him off. Most recently on Omnitel, a deck that shreds fair decks like mine. However, I do have a Thoughtseize open, and I can Moonshadow. If they're on Omnitel, I'd be dumb not to Thoughtseize and to try to get on board. Oh no, this crap! All right, well, we're dead. It's been nice knowing you, but we are going to get oopsed. Only an oops player would think that this deck was cool or interesting. Like literally everybody else is laughing behind your back at what a lame deck you're playing. All right. We'll take a look at their deck. Okay, so let's take a look here. They have given up on playing real Magic and moved away from real decks to whatever this RNG simulator is. Observations about the deck. First of all, they have one card in hand. I don't need to give them any information about my deck, so I can definitely scoop here. They do have the Thassa's Oracle in the Dread Return. I'm just trying to see what their backup plan is. They are playing green, which I presume is so they have better answers to Leyline of the Void, which I am going to be boarding all 4 of in. Yeah, I don't see anything interesting here. This looks very stock. They are playing packs, which, yeah, so I'll just concede now. All right. So cards we want in. Leylines, Disruptor Flute can be good because like they could like do their thing and then you Disruptor Flute. I think it's better than like, I mean, we just need to assume that the game is not going to have any semblance of fairness. It's going to be a very harsh mistress for us here. Snuff Out doesn't do anything against their deck. Their best threats are white or black rather. May just is too slow. Fatal Push doesn't do anything really. Like we could just pull all our removal out, but then they may stick the Baragwayf. It's so frustrating when they pivot into the Baragwayf and you don't have the answer to it. Like we're going to need a win for scraps. I'm going to take out my berries because frankly, like it's rare that we're going to even have 3 mana because you have to mull so many times to find your ley lines. And then when you do, you just have to, finish the game out with whatever chaff you have left in hand. I don't like Fatal Push here. I'd rather play berries. 1 berry, I guess. Yeah, and then we just have no removal, but maybe it won't matter if we get our killer threats out. Let's do this. So this is a Thoughtseize hand. I don't think it's good enough. I think like a Leyline is so much better against them that I'm going to mull. This is Dark Ritual and Thoughtseize. This has got to be good enough. I'll put back a Moonshadow. I think 1 Moonshadow will be enough. No, I'll put back a land and then I can deploy the Moonshadow turn 2. I'll see what's in their hand because I might be able to Moonshadow instead of him. They mulled a 5. There's always the risk that they're on like a Reanimator strategy. Sometimes they'll use Reanimate as their card. We're going to take their entire freaking hand. I'm going to give them no mercy. Extreme Prejudice. I will remove all lands from their hand. That is my first priority. And then Moonshadow. If I do get to, Thoughtseize, Moonshadow. I don't know. I was probably greedy to keep this second Moonshadow. But one of the keys to beating them is being fast. Let's start with this. Okay, so they do have a Thoughtseize. They do have the Spy. So I think we take this. We take the Spy and then we hymn them. I do think we need to do both. And if they have a Thoughtseize, it's not a big deal because I'll just have like nothing going on. I'm just going to stamp out Moonshadows for a couple turns. But I do think we take the Spy just in case we screw up and like somehow don't get it. It needs to go, and there are only 8 of those effects in their deck. Okay. So they do have a land. I definitely would have taken the land over the Thoughtseize had I been able to, but of course, the whole point of him is just random. But that's also the strength. Okay, so they do have a land, and they might be able to outrace us. That's an unfortunate draw. We'll play this out, and we'll just keep sticking these, and hopefully we'll race them. And there's nothing to be done. Their deck forces people into this awkward situation where their hand is Thoughtseize. Wait. Oh, it's Petal. Okay. So if they draw the thing, they just win, frustratingly. The odds of them winning, finding it are 7 and 54, but that increases with each draw. And yeah, that's frustrating as hell. Good games. Whatever. I can't stand this deck, if you can't tell from the contempt in my voice. Right. Round 3, we may get, just completely destroyed, but at least we're not up against Oops All spells. At least we're up against a respectable combo deck, Ad Nauseam Tendrils. So they're on the play. This is a Thoughtseize hand, which is about the best we can hope for here. I'm going to keep. So using Street Wraith is dangerous because it does get us lower in life, but we definitely need to open with a Thoughtseize and just punch as much of a hole as we can here. They mulled to 6. All right, they're passing. So this could be Veil, unfortunately. That is a card within their range. I want to hold my... Oh, that's so good. I mean, it's greedy, but I kind of want to Street Wraith just to see if I can find a Dark Ritual. Like, because it'd be totally insane if I found a Dark Ritual here. But I think the correct play is to go ahead and just Thoughtseize, surveil, like the scenes. We're not going to find, like... Yeah, please don't have the Veil. If they fetch, I'll be so sad. Okay, we got in. That's great. So we just take the business spell, Infernal Tutor, and then we hope that they don't rip anything. They said, good seize. Yeah, I would agree. That was great for me. So next turn, what I can do is I will just... They're fetching, probably surveilling. They don't have anything going on over there, which is huge. So next turn, what I'll do is I will play the Moonshadow, then I'll fetch, surveil, Thoughtseize again. And that should be pretty good. Okay. And I do think you just fire off your Thoughtseizes as quick as you can in this matchup. That's pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and Moonshadow first. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and fetch. And I think we just, again, we can take like something here. Even if it's just like a Dark Ritual, it's not the end of the world. I am going to Street Wraith first, now that this is out. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and see what they're drawing. Just in case they're drawing some setup card. Okay. They're drawing a Thoughtseize, which is fine. They're welcome to Thoughtseize me. My hand doesn't do anything. I am going to go ahead and fire this off. I'll just take... The Dark Ritual produces the most mana here. Yeah, and they can't even use the Chrome Mox. Okay. And next turn, like... They probably take Barragoyf here, but I can bring back Nethergoyf if I want to. I will have the types in the yard. It'll be small, but it's better than nothing. Okay, they fetched away the Thoughtseize, unfortunately. So we've basically been as disruptive as our deck can be, short of just doing what we did to our round 2 opponent, where we Dark Ritual Thoughtseize him. I mean, again, that is the black player's dream, that they're going to be able to do that to their opponent. And I'm glad we got to do it at least once in this league. Okay, so we get our card. It's a Wasteland. That's great. I'll definitely fire that off next turn if I get a chance to put a... Given the choice between a Nethergoyf and a Barragoyf, like a Nethergoyf and a Wasteland and a Barragoyf, I think we do take the Nethergoyf and the Wasteland. Uh-oh, they drew something big. Death Wish. Love it. You lose half your life trying it down. That's crazy. What are they going to get? I haven't seen this card in forever. Okay, they're at 9. We don't know what they get. It's like a Demonic Tutor for your sideboard. It's awesome. Awesome card, but you have to pay half your life. And it's 3 mana. It's a very balanced card, which is why you don't see it a lot in Legacy. Snuff Out. Not a great card here. I don't know that we get another turn. I think I do want to waste them off green here. Because they could have like Witherbloom Apprentice combo. Actually, looking at their recent lists, they have had that in there, but it's in the sideboard. I saw the black green and I thought that immediately, but I think most likely what they got. What is Debt to the Deathless? This is a really cool card, but this is like a way to kill around. Yeah, they could have gotten a Tendrils just to stay alive. They could have gotten a Sedgemoor Witch, but I don't think any of these work without the second setup card. I think I go for green here, and that grows my damage output a little bit. Now they're dead on board. I don't need to technically play this Goyf out, but I will. And we'll see if they can win from that low life total. It'll be exciting to see what they got. They said, save me a lot getting Debt to the Deathless. Yeah, I was just... Okay, so they may have the combo here, but like they have one card left to cast. Is it Beseech? I think it is Beseech. Unfortunately, this almost certainly wins, right? Because they can just use their graveyard. Death Wish again. No, wait, Death Wish is removed. Okay, so we'll just let them go. We tried our best here. I don't think there was anything different we could have done. Barragoyf would not have connected. I do think it was correct to waste. So they have Dark Ritual and Petal, which lets them cast Beseech again, and then they just go get Tendrils, and it'll be lethal. Well played. Okay. They got the lethal Tendrils with 9 storm count. Very impressive. All right, let's go to sideboard. All the fatal pushes probably come out. Oh, no. Snuff Out definitely comes out. Do we want to respect the fact that they could have the combo? Disruptor Flute, I think, comes in. Damping Sphere definitely comes in. I I do like Douthie here. I don't like Nethergoyf. It's just too slow and well, Barragoyf's even worse. Yeah, I'll take Barragoyf out first. I do think we probably want to keep the Fatal Pushes in just out of respect. Oh, yeah, may get in. Yes, please. Okay, I'll keep the Fatal Pushes in. I think this is enough interaction. Like, you could bring in Leyline. It's just pretty janky. Like, it stops exactly the graveyard lines, but that's it. And Douthie also stops those without, forcing you to play like super, terrible top decks. All right, I'm going to try this. We're going to need to be very aggressive and try to get a Dark Ritual hand here. This is a Dark Ritual Hymn Moonshadow hand. I'm going to keep this. I don't like the sheer ubiquity of lands, but I think this might be good enough because it's a clock and we can fetch to grow it. Like, basically any Dark Ritual hand is good here. Like, against these types of decks. See what we got 2 cantrips. Okay. That isn't necessarily great. Let's see what they're drawing. They're drawing a Brainstorm to replace the one we took. But that's okay if they're spending time brainstorming. So we get a card. Please don't be a land. They are unlikely to remove any of our threats. Okay, Street Wraith is nice. So, like, we can save that. We don't need to do that right now. Opponent surveils. Surveil says bottom or graveyard. So they've been to ponder. All right. I would love to find a Wasteland. Do I want to fetch first? Oh, that's kind of nice. So I think what I want to do is I want to fetch Surveil just in case I find something good, like a Thoughtseize, on top of my deck. Wait. Am I not playing a Surveil land? Where's my Surveil land? I could have sworn I was playing a Surveil land. Maybe I'm not. Okay, well I think you should probably play a Surveil land. Sorry, my excellent friends. Let's get some information. They're drawing a Marsh Flats. Let's cycle. Him would still be live if we find it. We are spiraling out, unfortunately. Like, just way too many lands. Next turn, like, I can grow this, but I can't do anything. Like, I think we're probably just dead. Let's see what the card is. No! Deck, why did you betray me this way? They said it's growing fast. It is growing fast, but it's not good enough against your deck. Your deck can just kill me with a pretty low density of cards by using its graveyard. What is this? Yeah, it's fine. I think they may have the combo here. Do I have Fatal Push in the deck? Ooh, that's nice, but it's not good enough, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and play it out, and then we'll play this out, and I'll fetch again. I'm like stunned that I chose not to put a Surveillant in my deck. Okay, so this is pretty big. It's going to come across. It's not going to matter. They've already got more than enough good stuff in their graveyard, and if they just have the combo, we're just dead, unfortunately. But they are dead next turn if they don't have the combo. Unfortunately, like, even though it puts stuff in their yard, it's like they've got me dead to this. Okay, that does trigger, and they get some life. So if they find a land plus Sink into Stupor, they win. They could cast another spell and potentially survive another turn cycle. I don't have anything to put in my graveyard here. My opponent said, like, Moonshadow is making a nice showing. It grows very quickly. It grows so much faster in the black-red deck, but I do prefer the stability of, like, having him and, Thoughtseize. And I think 8 cards is enough to reliably grow it. But, yeah, again, I'm disappointed in myself. For some reason, I took out the Surveillant. Yeah, and in fact, I'm going to remedy that right now. Let's go ahead and add a Surveillant. They're fetching, so I think that means we're dead. Because they're putting themselves to dead here with this fetch. Oh, they're brainstorming again. Okay, this gets them out of dead range. And they could still, like, play a Mox or something to cast Sink into Stupor. They've dug like crazy. I think the odds of them not finding it are low. And I think that's that. Okay, I literally typed GG's in chat because I was so confident I was dead. But we got a game 3. And now we're not favored at all in game 3. But I'll do my best. I think Leyline of the Void does come in. Just because it's turn 0 interaction against their combo deck. They said double BS failed me. So I think Nethergoyf is slow. We've already taken out a lot of our threats, but Bowmasters obviously is good against what they're doing over there. I think we could take a Nethergoyf just in favor of bringing in Leyline. I think it's unlikely that we get into a situation where, like, the fact that we had, like, one more threat helps us get across the line, whereas, like, Leyline shutting off their graveyard-based lines is probably more impactful. So again, we're going to be looking for a Dark Ritual based hand. I'll keep those 2 Fatal Pushes in just in case. I think may help save us against the card because they keep casting it, right? They can copy the spell. No, that's not the same as casting. I don't think the copies... I think the text on Witherbloom Apprentice is whenever you cast or copy. So yeah, May's not going to save us from that. I am very worried about that. That tech in their deck. Let's see, how many threats do we have? We've got 4 Moonshadows, 4 Bowmasters, 4 Douthies, 2 Mays. I think that's probably okay. We just need 1. Okay, so this is a Dark Ritual hand with double Bowmaster. I mean, I said like we need, and we are going to get another card, so we could get something here. I feel like there's a higher upside though than just putting a Bowmasters in play. Let's mulligan. This is a him hand with double Wasteland. Again, I feel like we can do better than this. It's a lot of freaking lands. Come on, deck. I'm playing like 18 lands. Oh, this is so terrible. Why, deck? Why? Okay, so let's keep this. We're just so many freaking lands. Okay, so we'll put back a swamp. Put this back. Put ley line in. I don't think it's going to be good enough. But we do have Street Wraith and Wasteland, which probably... Again, it's not going to be good enough, unfortunately. Ponder. Gosh, like... those were some abysmal hands. And... Unfortunately, like there's a decent chance we just draw more chaff. Oh my goodness, deck. I am going to waste here. I should have... Street Wraith, but like I needed to waste anyway. Okay, they're not doing anything. I just like if I find a Moonshadow, I do want to kick this. Oh, that's actually a card that does something. Let's go ahead and Street Wraith now. Okay, him. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. It's just we're getting there very slowly. I'll play this out just in case I get to Moonshadow next turn, but like I'm pretty sure I need a him next turn. I probably need a Douthie next turn just so I have some threat. This feels terrible though. Like I feel extremely hopeless here. They are playing like an AB combo. How hilarious. Gaia's Will, the one card that we shut off, they just dodged it like that. If they have the Witherbloom Apprentice, I am going to him them because like I feel like we're just so much in danger to them having the combo. All right, there it is. So I will him them here. Let's see what they're going to draw. Because if they're going to draw, then I don't need to bother because I can just concede. I don't think there's like... Okay, so I could draw a Fatal Push for turn. I mean, it sucks, but obviously I'm going to die if they are allowed to draw that. I get a Bobble here. I might even want them to put it on the stack and kill... That's like the one way I could win is if I draw... And unfortunately, I don't have a way to guarantee. I'm going to fetch to thin my deck because I don't have a Surveil land in my deck. And now I've got this, and we've got 2 Fatal Pushes in there. Let's check. I think I have 2. I have 2 Fatal Pushes. That's literally the only thing that is separating me from death here. They draw their card. Okay, good game. And we already know they have it in hand. Okay, cool. Oh, man, that was a beating. Right, round 3, we've got a pretty good... round 4, rather. We've got a pretty good matchup. We're up against a likely lands gamer. And this is... We don't have any... Graveyard Disruption, but we can lead with the Thoughtseize and then we can Nethergoyf. Yeah, I do want to lead with the Thoughtseize just in case they have like Expedition or Exploration or some sort of explosive cards. Him is pretty terrible against them. Nethergoyf is good. Baragoyf is good. Bowmasters kind of sucks. They mulled a 5. They trophied with lands a few days ago and they don't have a ton of history, and usually... Because it's so hard to get the cards on MTGO, people will get like one deck and stick with it for a few months if they're new. It does take a while to build up an MTGO collection. So I am going to go ahead and just Thoughtseize, and they probably have Loam, and we're not going to get Shadow Realm necessarily. Okay, this is pretty good. Their hand doesn't do a thing against me. I will take this just because it is good longer term. And if they want to play a... Yeah, I don't think I even bother hemming. I think I probably just Nethergoyf next turn. Wasteland doesn't do a damn thing against my deck. I did... Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and they bin the other Wasteland. So their hand is Boseiju and one unknown. Which Boseiju doesn't do anything against my deck either. They can't even Boseiju my basic lands, right? Yeah, they can't even hit my basic land. So it will do nothing this league or this match. All right, so there's no point in hemming. I just don't think it's worth doing here. I think it's better to just get on the board. I mean, let's see. We get the Boseiju out of their hand. If they find a loam, it's definitely better to get going here. I'll play this next turn. I'll bury, and we'll just try to get some damage in. I could have Bowmastered, but I don't think that damage output's going to match Nethergoyf. Like, they could absolutely wipe my graveyard later. Okay, stage. That could absolutely change the course of the game, unfortunately. I don't have any answers. And I lost against John from Boardwalk Games, who's on lands. And it's because both of the games he won, he was able to get a very early Dark Depths, even around Wasteland. Since they have the Boseiju, if we draw a Wasteland, we probably do want to hem them. And then we play the Wasteland out, but that, unfortunately, that means, I actually don't think we're favored anymore. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and, probably bury here. And we'll just hope that bury connects like once or twice before they get their giant monster out. And it's just like RNG. Like, do they find it or do they not? Like, they don't have it. They do have crop rotations that can find it for them. And they may already have that in hand. But, like, him wasn't going to solve that if they have it. If they can assemble that combo, we just lose. They scooped to that. Interesting. I feel like they still had lots of live draws. Okay. Well, I will take it. So here, I definitely think Leyline of the Void comes in. They can take it out, but they'll give us a land when they do so. Disruptor Flute is probably worth playing. Damping Sphere doesn't do a lot, actually. They're usually not casting multiple spells per turn. May doesn't really do anything. Feed the Swarm. I don't fear their enchantments. I'm just going to take out all of our removal and hope that they're not on. Like, sometimes you will come across people that are on the Elvish Reclaimer builds, and that's really good. Bowmasters sucks pretty hard against their deck. I think we should take them all out and maybe bring in. We didn't see any colors. We saw green. That's it. It could be the TOURACH. No, I just can't get behind TOURACH. I don't think he's good. And I genuinely don't think Damping Sphere does anything here. Is May better? I can't get behind May either. Man, it just doesn't feel like we have the right cards to sideboard out here. Feed the Swarm could take out. I don't even know. Yeah, I guess we just bring these Bowmasters back in. They are probably better than May. Just because, again, like, May hurts us. And it doesn't, like, they're probably not going to be casting a lot of things. We could bring in the Fatal Pushes just out of respect for their constructs. But, like, when are constructs an issue against Baragorf? Rarely. And it's not like they're like a dedicated artifact deck. Like, their constructs might be like 5/5 or 6/6, but you're usually not going to lose to them. And that usually is pretty late in the game. I think I'd rather have more threats than have Fatal Push in the deck. So it's tough. I'm definitely going to have to, like, if I am going to take this to Buffalo Chicken Dip, I'm going to have to figure out, oh, this is a pretty good hand. So this is just Moonshadow, and then we can Street Wraith immediately. Get some power behind it. But we don't address the graveyard problem. Let's see whether they keep, but I'm kind of inclined to throw this back. Because they're on the play. Like, Thoughtseize is really terrible here too. Like, maybe we should have just taken out Thoughtseize and him. Like, a lot of our deck is pretty bad against their deck. But keep in mind, at least we can't get wasted out of the game. I think I'm going to keep on the strength of Moonshadow Street Wraith. And then turn to him or Thoughtseize Nethergoyf. I think it's barely good enough. But if we mulligan and we hit Leyline, it's so good against their deck. I'm going to mull. Come on, let's spike it. This is a better hand for sure. Disruptor Flute is good. But I think we can do better than this. I'm going to mulligan one more time. This is the best hand by far. Let's keep this. And I will put back a land and a Bowmasters. And then, like, we've got the graveyard double covered, which feels pretty good. And we've got, Thespian Stage turned off with Disruptor Flute. Boseiju played out. Love it. Exploration. Okay. So that was what they were going to use to clear this. So they can attempt to race us with Urza Saga. I will fight hard to prevent that. If I drop a Dark Ritual, I'll just Dark Ritual out Disruptor Flute. Let's Street Wraith first, just in case I find it. Like, it'd be so insane if I can find a Dark Ritual for this. Nethergoyf will get big. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and just play out the Nether. Like, it's a 1-2. I don't think they're going to be able to kill my Nethergoyf. And by not fetching, I keep up the ability to like draw Moonshadow and immediately feed it. But like, I'm pretty sure I need a Douthie here. They did find stage, so they essentially have infinite Urza Saga construct action here. I'm kind of thinking that I Disruptor Flute. After they activate, I can name Thespian Stage and it won't be able to copy. And because Thespian Stage is like a huge pain for our deck. I'm going to go ahead and fetch now. Now we're going to come across, and I am going to just Disruptor Flute as soon as they give me the opportunity. Because I don't want Thespian Stage to be able to change it to something else. Like if they do decide to copy Urza Saga, like I want them to tap and create a construct. And then I Thespian Stage this. Their Boseiju, one of probably 2 in their deck, is already out. Okay, so that is fine. I am going to go ahead and get Thespian Stage now. So they can't copy it. Okay. So now we just have to beat some like 3/3s, most likely. Which I think we can do. Yeah, they're going to create it. They're probably going to search their deck for just another Urza Saga here. And I absolutely could have nailed Urza Saga, but Thespian Stage can copy that and then it can become something else and it can start pumping out to and this stops the other line of attack as well. Okay, so now they can make it a 3/4. Whoa, Maze of It too. Okay. Slow down there, partner. All right, we could die. They're hitting for 7. Yeah, we could absolutely die here. It's unfortunate, but it's a possibility. Nethergoyf can stay back and block. I'm not sure what my good draws are here. That does nothing, I don't think. I'm going to play the Douthie out, and I will just chump one of these with Nethergoyf. Yeah, I mean, I probably just have to chump. Nethergoyf can potentially come back. We don't have good attacks. We're just chilling. I need to survive. They're down to 2 cards over there. I don't have Surveil Land, unfortunately. Again, I would absolutely fetch and just Surveil here. So let's go ahead and let this guy die. So we take 3, we drop to 7. What are they doing? Endurance? That doesn't matter. Now we're extra dead. Okay. So yeah, he's dead, but he still goes to my graveyard. Where I can bring him back if this game somehow continues, but I don't think it will. I could draw exactly Barragoyf here, and that would not be good enough, unfortunately. I will fetch just because I don't want to draw even more land. Fetch the thing. Moonshadow would not be good enough. I'll just scoop if I draw Moonshadow. I really need Barragoyf for bust here. It is in my deck. And I don't think even Barragoyf is good enough. Yeah, good game. That was crazy that they won. Okay, so I think Fatal Push might need to make a return to our deck. I do want to take out the Thoughtseize. I just don't like it here in this matchup. I don't really like Thoughtseize or him. I think I'm going to take them both out. And then Fatal Push can come back in. Yeah, I mean, him is just like atrocious against them, frankly. Leyline's pretty good. I mean, it like probably did a lot of work there, but it's invisible work. You don't see it, so it looks mediocre, but it actually is really good. They could have absolutely had a Loam in hand and would have just run us over. Maybe we do want the Thoughtseize in on the play. Then if we're doing that, we could trim these Bowmasters, which, I mean, can technically like chump for a few turns against opponents, but like it doesn't feel good. I think Bowmasters is fine. I'm not going to use Snuff Out. I don't like paying life, especially when I've already got Thoughtseize in my deck. I don't think Feed the Swarms work. Well, Feed the Swarm actually kills the constructs, and it can also kill, like, yeah, maybe it is more flexible than Fatal Push. It does cost more mana, but I don't think that'll be the issue. Let's try this. Again, I just feel like Thoughtseize is so terrible against their deck, but like I could nut draw into Leyline of the Void and have other stuff to do. Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty good example of like a pretty good hand, frankly. I can double Leyline and then they have to kill it twice. Yeah, Leyline is really good against their deck. We just got unlucky in that they were able to do a bunch of shenanigans against our deck that normally would not be good enough, I don't think. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just play this Bowmaster or the Goyf out as an 0-1. I don't think they're going to like be able to ping it or anything. I guess I could have fetched the land out of my deck, but this way, if I do draw Bowmasters, I can do something with it. I don't think they have like just like remove all of our enchantments type things. I think they have to kill them one by one. Oh, they could have... okay, that's fine. They could have Force of Vigor. Tabernacle. That's no fun. All right. So I am going to just pay. And I can just go get more swamps. Tabernacle will break down, like if I'm able to keep hitting them enough. Okay, so draw a step. Douthie. Unfortunately, I can't deploy it. I will fetch a swamp here just to have 1 power on Nethergoyf so I can start the beats. Unfortunately, it's just I'm going to need to draw a lot of lands here. You could argue that I shouldn't have taken the land out of the deck because that decreases the likelihood of me drawing subsequent lands. If they do have Force of Vigor, then I can just replay the Douthie and minimize the amount of damage done. Okay, Malevolent Rumble into the Void. That's fine, but they do get to keep the card. They found an Urza Saga, which is what they need to win, unfortunately. Wait, Feed the Swarm can kill Urza Saga. Feed the Swarm. I think I let my Nethergoyf go when I Feed the Swarm the Urza Saga. I don't like letting my Nethergoyf go, but it grows future Goyfs. They chose Thespian Stage. Okay, well that's not good. And so they're planning to do the big guy. Do they have another land drop? They're just playing a Lava Spur Boots. Yeah, they're gonna try to kill me with freaking. It's so frustrating. But there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. I can't kill this Lava Spur Boots. It's an artifact, not an enchantment. I don't feel like Nethergoyf attacking is going to be beneficial. I'm not going to pay for it. That's good. This gives me the option of Bowmastering something, but again, it's not going to work, unfortunately. Yeah, they can just crop rotate here. Feed the Swarm's a sorcery. I can Bowmasters, it's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. Like, I feel like, I don't even know. I can't really articulate. I'm in a glass cage of emotion. Just knowing that, like, we're going to die to depth despite having covered, like, the key card in their deck. Leyline doesn't stop everything. If they play out the Urza Saga, they can copy it, and we can't blow it away in time because they can copy it. I think it's just Douthie here. That way, even if they Force of Vigor, we still have the graveyard covered. But I think we're super duper dead. The fact that they grabbed this instead of Expedition Map tells me they already have the card in hand. Crop rotation. That's a good game. Whatever. All right, let's go to the next one. They were just going to go get it and copy it immediately and next turn, and then if they had any sort of green source they could. Yeah, so this has not been a good league. We were 1-3. For the record, I think the lands matchup is fine. I think I must be misplaying it. I mean, in theory, like, why would the lands matchup be bad when you have like all this native graveyard hate against the Life from the Loam engine, which is the key of their deck? My opponent was very squirrely with just having a lot of creatures in the deck that I didn't anticipate, such as Endurance. All right, final round. This has been a very fast league against Thunderbrow. They've been playing a lot of mid-rangey strategies. This is an atrocious hand, unfortunately. I don't think we keep this. This is way better. Okay, so this is just like a beeline to Barry. I'm going to trust that jamming Barry after Barry will work against an aggro deck, and I'm going to take out Douthie just because Douthie can't block. I think my opponent's probably on an aggro deck. And then we can just play this out, and hopefully Bowmaster can ping like a creature. Plains. I do want to fetch. I just don't want to draw any more land. And Revolt's on. Not that it really matters. We did draw a land anyway. We're playing 18 lands. But our deck just wants to give us tons of lands. Unfortunately, with Solitude and Plow, it's possible that double Baragorf is not going to be good enough. Okay, well, they're on blue-white. Well, I am going to go ahead and jam the Bowmasters because I'm not going to have a window to jam it for like 2 turns. And hopefully this baits the interaction. Or at least gets them to brainstorm or something. I think they're probably on the Felia deck. Felia Riddler deck. Moonshadow's nice. Do we want a Moonshadow first? Before we start burying. I actually think we do. Because Barry's not very big right now anyway. Oh no, they have a freaking Felia. They've got Felia. If I attack, I'll lose one of these. I'm not going to attack. I guess I could attack, and if they have it, it's not a big of a deal. Just get the cheeky 1 damage. Is Felia coming in? Are we going to be dead to Felia? No. Okay. Well, I may have forgone a damage there. They may have just been respecting the fact that I could have a follow-up Bowmasters, but I do think Philly is coming. This is sweet-looking plains, by the way. Okay, they're plowing. I love it. I'm so glad I didn't play out a berry. Prismatic Vista. Fetch. I think they're on like Jeskai, maybe. Come on, burn another removal spell. Please use all your removal on my Moonshadow. Narset. Okay. Well, let's see what Narset gets. Narset's dead. Unless they get Solitude, which they can't get. But unless they have a Solitude in hand. They find a Ponder. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fetch now. I don't want to draw any more land. So I can kill Narset, and I can also jam a berry, which seems fine. It's not huge. It's going to be like a 2-3. Wasteland doesn't do anything here. I actually just want to use this instead. Let's go ahead and go after Narset here. Okay. And it sucks to go after Narset when she has almost no impact on my deck, but yeah. And again, like not having the fetch, not having the surveil just keeps coming up is like a problem. Like in one of the previous rounds, I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do because they're very close to hardcast Solitude as well. It's very annoying. That's going to bounce the Barrogoyf and draw them a card and just buy them more time, unfortunately. And they also have Plow Up, so like I kind of... Oh, they went for that? Interesting. They must have Plow Up. It's the only thing I can think of here. I am glad I didn't crack this because now I can crack it like once it comes out. Of course, I'm going to draw a land as a result. No, I didn't draw a land. Okay, that's nice. So let's go ahead and do this first. That should happen. I probably should have played out my Moonshadow first. Yeah, they have the Plow for that. Okay. Yeah, I kind of punted there because I could have gotten extra power on my Moonshadow. I do have double Barrogoyf here. I mean, like I might be able to win this. Okay, and I don't think they're a Daze deck, so I'm just going to jam my berry here. Yeah, I could have a 3-3 Moonshadow, so it was a punt. They may force this if they're starting to run low on removal. They've used 2 Plows, but they could have Snapcaster in the deck, which would be a beating. Hopefully they don't have that. Okay, I think they're likely on Wizards, and I think Snapcaster is likely. Prismatic Ending, okay, that's not good for me. There's a Ponder. We have done almost no damage to them. All right, so we'll come across, and we will stick our berry, and I'm going to just hope they don't have Sweepers. That's a bad draw. There's no reason to put an instant in the yard. I'm just going to play it out. And that way, if they force it, at least I get additional Moonshadow power. They do force it. Okay. Well, congratulations, opponent. You've worked through 3 freaking Barrogoyfs. Very well done. Like, this is the best that my deck has to offer. It should be pretty easy for you to win from here. Unless you've just completely bricked. There's the Plow. Okay, so I've got a Orc Army. That's my sole offensive. And we're done. Yeah, there's no way we're catching up from here. Okay. So, that was brutal. But I think we're actually favored here. We're going to bring in TOURACH. I think may come in. I don't think Fatal Push is like spectacular. It can't take out like Tamiyo. I think Snuff Out might be better because it can take out... well, actually, they are playing Felia almost certainly. So I think it should stay in. But what do we cut? We want as many offensive cards as we can get. Yeah, I just want offense. I'm going to take out the Fatal Pushes. If I take out the Snuff Outs, then we just go complete idiot mode, like jam, like slam them in the face, basically. May probably is pretty good against their deck, especially with Felia. They'll have to respect her, probably blink her out of the way instead of blinking other stuff. Yeah, I'm going to definitely keep... I think Nethergoyf is... I think it's unlikely to remove our graveyard. I think I am just going to take out Snuff Out and just throw Caution to the Wind and try to beat face around Tamiyo, who's almost certainly in the deck. One thing that a very smart aggro player told me a long time ago is, oh, this is a good hand because it's got TOURACH, is you do just want to have a lot of threats in your deck. Like that, like they have to answer all your threats, right? They mold a 6. This hand's pretty good. TOURACH will be the last card I cast just in case I find a Dark Ritual. They mold a 5. So that's like they're not playing what my blue-white deck plays with like a bunch of Solitudes. Like they will start to run out of win cons. And they're also playing non-basic lands, which Wasteland might be able to get a free snack, and then I can Nethergoyf. Come on, play a non-basic. You know you want to. All right, they're fetching. It could be a Tommy. You know, it's Plow maybe? Prismatic Ending, that's fine. Okay. I think this is just Doughty time. Douthie has the highest damage output. And then I've got Bowmasters to follow up. Yeah, I'm going to do this. The fact that Douthie can't be blocked by Tomio is a big feather in the cap, and we can always just respond to a Tomio like by locking down the clues with Bowmasters. There's Stoneforge Mystic. That is fine. I can Nethergoyf and Bowmasters this turn cycle and just overwhelm them. I think that's what I probably have to do. And then TOURACH is waiting in the wings. But if they do get the sword and they start blinking it repeatedly, it's not going to be good for me. They may get the Batterskull, which is black and avoids TOURACH's protection. I think TOURACH will absolutely win if we can resolve it, but not into a Batterskull. They get Crypticoat. Okay, well, that actually is a pretty good blocker too. Oh, huh. You don't say. Well, I think this is him, and maybe we get something useful out of their hand. The fact that they got a Crypticoat tells me they may have something else. And if they got the sword, I can use it. Let's go and do this. It's a hard decision. Okay, what did we exile there? Brainstorm and Ponder. That's pretty good. Are they going to be able to create the Crypticoat? Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty kind of iffy turn. Ponder, I can't punish because I tapped out. If they don't find land, Stoneforge can't really do a lot. If they did find the sword, it is really annoying, and especially if they have a Felia to follow up. Riddler gets them 2 cards here. That's really, really good. So our hem, like, maybe that's an argument for not hemming because we just helped them. Basically turn cantrips that they didn't have mana to cast into action spells, maybe. We don't know that they got action, but let's bobble first. I just want to see what they're drawing. Drawing a Narset, which doesn't do a lot against our deck. I think this is just Nethergoyf and then Bowmaster. And I'll just do it like this before I attack. I'm just going to main phase it. Put them on notice that they're going to have to clear this. And then if we draw a land, we're sitting pretty. We may be able to kill them before they can start using the Riddler. We get a card here. Another Bowmaster is nice. So even if they get to Riddler, they may not have the life total to be able to fully utilize it. They fetch. Okay. And they're just going to probably put the card in. Let's see. Dark Ritual. Yeah, I think this is just Dark Ritual to him. I'm going to go for it. Okay, they're putting something in here. Might be the sword. This Crypticoat. They don't want that to go. That makes sense. Okay, so now they are going to discard 2 cards. They discarded Island and Narset. Okay, we knew about the Narset. Now we have a 4-3. I think I just attack with both of these. And we put the pressure on them. They're hellbent. But if they draw a land, they can... That's fine. And they can just bounce this back to hand and redeploy. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Okay. All right. And next turn, they're like pretty dead on board. I'm very happy with TOURACH. Like, I'm glad I held it and didn't just go for the mini creature. I'm glad I waited for the kicker. Supreme Verdict into the Void. When did that happen? That's scary that they're playing that card. How did that get in there? Oh, that was what was underneath the thing. Okay, I was like, what happened? Okay, Supreme Verdict. That's good to know about. Like, we can use it if we really need to later. Okay. So I'm just going to come across. I'll leave the Bowmaster back. Will I? I mean, I'll attack with the army. It's probably free money. Okay, this is putting this in. That's fine. And then they'll just block probably my this, which they can kill in combat. They scooped. They could have killed it in combat, and I think they still would have died, maybe? I don't know. Okay. That was pretty strong. Now we're on the draw. How much do we want to respect what the deck can do? I'm kind of like sour on him here just because it's so easy for them. Like, if we get their hand low, it's so easy for them to recover. I kind of do want to put the pushes back in. That may seem kind of weird because we are playing TOURACH, but the fact that TOURACH can connect is so important. On the draw, I am tempted to just go ahead and cut a land. I don't think it's going to matter too much, and I want to have lots of fatal pushes to deal with Felia and Stoneforge Mystic. They've got plenty of cards that we need to clear. Snuff Out. Maybe Snuff Out is better because it's free. And then we could... Yeah, just in case we have to kill like a Murktide. Some of these decks have been playing Murktide. I don't really like May that much. Like, I can imagine her doing a lot of damage and being good, but like, my opponent has lots of creature spells. I think I cut her. No, I don't know. We've got 27 creatures. That's a lot. Granted, 4 of them are Street Wraiths, but 23 creatures. I like that amount of pressure. I think I'm going to keep this. Hopefully we don't get no landers because I trimmed a land. That's how the karma works usually. This is not good enough, unfortunately. Like, I really don't. They began with 7 cards in hand. I think the odds of Baragorf going all the way are extremely low. This is the best hand for sure that we can reasonably expect. I'm going to keep. So I can Thoughtseize and May. I don't want to put back a threat. I mean, stuff that's so good if they Felia turn 1. Man, this is really hard. But Bobble's the type for Nethergoyf, but it's also just, who knows? I think I put the Bobble back. Nethergoyf will be kind of big, but he's not going to be huge. Okay, they Ponder instead of casting a Tamio, which is probably good. All right. So we're going to go get a Swamp. Okay, we drew another Bobble, so I feel very happy about my decision there. I'm going to go ahead and see what's on top of their deck first before I commit to doing anything. Brainstorm. Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and Dark Ritual. Let's Thoughtseize them. Just insane cards. But they can't cast any of these. They're going to draw a Brainstorm, which will allow them to cast. I think we clear the Plow here. We could clear the Plow just so they don't have like a turn 1 Plow. And then I can May. I'm definitely glad I kept... I'll do this. Glad I kept this stuff out. It will cost me a lot, but I might do it after they've somehow removed this. We get a card. Okay, that's a good card. Now, we don't have the mana to cast it, but they're going to take 2. And see if they find a fetch. If they find a fetch, they're in business. They don't. That is good for us. Tamio is fine. I think I just snuff her out, frankly. She's the only thing they've got going on. I could take a draw. They could have a forced negation in hand, though. I think I just take the life loss here to minimize the likelihood of them being able to do anything with this. So, ouch. That's a lot of life loss. Okay. Let's go ahead and Bobble. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. I'm so low in life that Fourth Aerolingus might just be able to kill me, but they do need 2 colors for that. They're drawing another Stoneforge, which is a brick. That's freaking sweet. I think we might be able to win this one on the back of them just being color screwed. We'll see if they have like a Ponder or something. We get our card. It's a Moonshadow, which is not particularly strong here. Don't have a land, please. Oh, they're freaking mana screwed. You love to see it. If this gets countered, it's a type for the yard. I'm going to play it. Yeah, and we're just going to smush. And it's going to be hard for them to win with all the damage we've already got coming their way. Like, they have to do something spectacular here. We did it. Okay, we vindicated ourselves a little bit there in the end. Again, I'm not happy with the Doomsday matchup. Like, I feel like it was very close. Wait, was that? That may have been a previous league. I can't remember if we played against Doomsday. The Oops All spells sucked. Screw Oops All spells. My opponent showed me their hand and they just bricked as I predicted. Like, nothing we really did there mattered too much. Like, an algorithm could have probably beaten them there. Their deck beat themselves. But that does happen when you're playing a 2-color deck sometimes and you're playing a lot of basics. It's not free. Okay, so the Storm deck that we faced was pretty cool. I think our other loss was to Black-White. No, wait, we just beat Blue-White, but I think we lost to Black-White somewhere along the line. Man, these leagues are all blurring together. So I did play a Blue-White league. I was disappointed with that as well. I think I went 2-3, which was not how I want. I'm still trying to figure out what deck I want to play at the Buffalo Chicken Dip Open Legacy event in Houston in a few days. I definitely like this deck a lot because it's easy to play. Frankly, it's a lot easier to play than like the Blue-White, and I'm almost never going to go to time with this. It's explosive. It's not so explosive as the Black-Red version, but like I think it's got just the right amount of food for Moonshadow. We did get Moonshadow to like 6, which I think is totally fine for a 1-drop. You don't need to build your entire deck around it. I'm only partially building around it with the Street Wraiths. I think the amount of removal is correct. The ability to bring in more removal is nice. May had a nice showing there at the end. She would have been good against the Storm decks, which you will invariably face in leagues, but may not face in paper. TOURACH was good. I think so I think because the deck is so thin, like once you've Street Wraith and Bobbled, it's totally fine to play 2 ofs as your sideboard bullets. Feed the Swarm would have been really good against Urza Saga, for example. I hadn't thought about that until today. Like, oh, this is actually a slam dunk against lands because pay 0 life, destroy your opponent's Urza Saga. Like, that's pretty good, right? And it can also kill a construct, and that costs nothing too. So it's a pretty flexible card. I continue to be high on this card. I would say you definitely want to play the Undercity Sewers. I think this is the exact mana base you want. 8 fetches with you could go lower on swamps and play more fetches, but I genuinely think like you will occasionally face Blood Moon, and it's so frustrating to like not be able to find a swamp to be able to cast your stuff when you're up against Blood Moon, or it doesn't always happen, but in the blind you will face Moonstompy players, especially in paper. So I'm expecting to face Moonstompy this weekend. It'll probably be like 6 or 7 rounds. Yeah, I'm probably gonna play this, but like that wasn't the best showing. I do love the deck though. I think it's finished. I don't really think there's a lot to be debated about this. I think the 3 hymns and the 3 Baragoyf is the right mix. I think the mana base is great. I think 18 lands is fine when you're playing Baubles and Street Wraiths, and almost none of your lands can be wasted. So yeah, this is where I'm going to leave it. I hope if you're like our, I think, who's I up against? Lons NL, the Storm player, was saying they were assembling this deck, but the Moonshadows are expensive. They're expensive both in paper and in MTGO. I don't actually even own these on MTGO. They're like $30, 30 tickets each. I'm trying to save up to buy them on MTGO with my main account. But for now, I'm fortunate enough to have this creator account so I can play test and stuff. I don't get to keep any of the prizes, but it's really cool to be able to create videos for you. Whereas I would probably have to grind for a long time to save up enough tickets, especially if I'm occasionally 2-3ing. Like, people underestimate how hard it is to actually go infinite on MTGO, let alone bank a whole bunch of ticks that you can use to buy new Fire Design staples as they get printed. Like, I spent all my ticks on buying the Quantum Riddler, and I think that was a very good investment, and I've had a great time playing it. But now Moonshadow's out, and I have to get that too, and that's also a Chase Mythic. So yeah, but I would say, like, in paper, like, this is probably going to be a legacy card for a long time. I don't think they're just going to straight obsolete this anytime soon. Like they obsoleted Spider-Punk, or they obsoleted, and I do believe they've fully obsoleted Stalactite Stalker. Like, I can't go back. I was skeptical at first, but like, Moonshadows just grows so fast. It's crazy. And it really is a pretty minimal build around. Like, we weren't playing Street Wraith, but we were playing Bobble just as a way to get our Goyfs looser. And yeah, I like this deck a lot. It's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it, even though I was a little salty there against the Oops All Spells opponent. Like, again, I hope they just ban it so we don't have to face it anymore. It's not fun, but you could say, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, Wizards, what are you doing? Why is Oops still legal? Like, all these years later, we don't need it in the format. I don't care what arguments people have. Like, oh, but there needs to be a fast combo deck or else blah, 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 blah. Like, there are plenty of good combo decks that can win on turn 1 that don't result in terrible gameplay. Doomsday can win on turn 1. I've been Doomsday turn 1. I've been Tendrils turn 1. I have no problem with that sort of stuff. But the entire game does not revolve around trying to essentially avoid having to interact with your opponent. I just don't think that's fun, and I don't think that's Magic the way Richard Garfield intended, frankly. But I do think it's totally fine to have combo decks. I just don't think that they should turn 1 or lose, right? Like, that's not fun. I don't like Necrodominus either, but Necrodominus is much less reliable than Oops All Spells. So have that be your turn 1 deck. And that's also, a deck you can build for a few $100s if that's the issue. Ruby Storm is very, very reliable, and it's very cheap. You can build it for like $600 or $700. Why isn't that the deck that people point to? Why is anybody arguing in favor of keeping Oops All Spells in the format? Like, I just hear the most insane arguments from people on like Reddit and Discord and stuff, and I'm just like, what are you smoking? Come on, let's get rid of this crap. So until that happens, I may be salty, but you won't hear me like just completely salt off. Like, And I hope it didn't come across as like extremely salty there, but like it does feel like it's a little bit insulting having to play that. Having played so much Magic over the years and really taking pride in my skill as a legacy player, and then having to just sit there and, you know, do garbage time for a round or have a trophy ruined because somebody decided to just queue in with oops. And a lot of times it is people that are just grinding tickets, because I think you can win really quickly, really, you know, pretty consistently with the deck. So I understand why people are playing it. I would just like to see it removed as an option for what people can play. And I am overall very, very happy with the meta. Oops aside. You probably haven't heard me complain too much about One Ring. I may complain a little bit about Tamiyo, but I am a hypocrite if I'm complaining too much about Tamiyo, because I also sling Tamiyo around. But if you're looking for a fun, fair deck that can be built for a few $100s, look no further. Mono Black. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.